welcome to day 3 of my Advent event. Today I will be showing you a fun technique to how to create a shiny background using perfect pearls mixed up with Dylusion ink sprays. And I started out with a piece of white cardstock that is slightly smaller than my card base and inked up my circular design background stem from Penny Black with Versamark ink. This is not a Christmas stem, but I think it works fine for this occasion. I took some scrap paper just to get my fingers not too inky. And then I used my white embossing powder to white emboss the image. You can see there's some smudging on the cardstock, but this will be no problem since we're using a lot of color later on. So I sprinkle on the white embossing powder onto that design. This is a fun background to use white embossing and then some emboss resist. And I just heat set that with my heat gun, and I speeded this process up to make you wait not too long. Then I took out my Dylusions ink sprays and my perfect pearls in blue patina, and I mixed them both with lots of water in my Ranger mini mister. I prepared that before I did the video, so you can see here this is water, the Dylusions ink spray and the perfect pearl already mixed in my mini mister. And I took out a box to keep my work surface clean, and I like to put some tissue underneath my project so the ink does not flow under my cardstock and make it very inky from the back. And you can see the cardstock began to warp when I sprayed the color on, and I heat set that with my heat gun. And I don't know how this happened, but the cardstock flattened out itself when it dried. Have a look. This is really, it's magical. I don't know how this happened. And I try to be careful not to melt the embossing powder again. And you can see all that shine on the background. I think it's really beautiful, especially for Christmas projects. And there are still some wet spots left, but I don't care because I will go in with the tissue later and just tap that off. Did you see that? My camera did something stupid. I don't know why, but the picture got a little yellow. Well, I took out some clothespins and some ribbon, and again, I like to make a card that is turquoise and red and white, because this is simply my favorite color combo for Christmas cards. I wrapped some white ribbon around the background, and I used some adhesive to keep my ribbon in place. I thought about tying a bow, but I'm not good at that, so I just made a knot and cut off the ends so that the ribbon is still kind of decorative and beautiful. And then I tried to get the ends in place. I rounded the corners of that piece of cardstock, and then I took out some transparent red ribbon and went around the edges and tried to adhere it down in waves. So this is, well, I know there is an English name for that, but I forgot at the moment. Well, you can see I just go back and forth to keep that in place. Perhaps you can leave a comment telling me how this is called. I really don't know at the moment. Well, this is going on the card front with some dimensional adhesive. I use my dimensional tape. This was very cheap, and I think it's 1 millimeter thick. So there's not a big difference between the card base and that panel, but still enough to make it pop. And I think the red ribbon makes it pop as well. So I took off the backing sheets of that dimensional tape and just adhered that panel to my card front. And there was still some backing sheet left, so I just removed that. And then I took out my tag dies from Paper Tray Ink and picked one die that I thought that would fit the background with all the ribbon very well. I cut it out from white cardstock, and then I took out the Kelly Purkey stamp set Joy, which has beautiful sentiments in it, and I picked a sentiment that will perfectly go onto the tag. It's the Peace on Earth. It's the Peace on Earth sentiment, and I used some Hero Art Shadow Ink in Red Royale to match the colors that I had already used on the card, and I thought this would be a great color to go with the ribbon. So then I tried a bit. I played around to find a way that I wanted to adhere the tag, and I was sure I wanted to use one of the clothespins. Still, I decided to open the knot and attach the tag by pulling the ribbon through and tie a knot again. And then I decided to adhere the little clothespin with some adhesive. I always use my tape runner. I use it for nearly everything, and it worked. So I took out my tape runner to adhere that clothespin to the card front. And I also decided to keep the little tag in place by using some foam tape and adhere that down. That finished the card for today. I hope you had some fun and got inspired, and I'll be glad to see you tomorrow. Bye bye!